Welcome back to another edition of Inside the MML with your host, the one and only CP. We got a great show for you guys lined up today. We got Coach Forrest of the Atlanta Falcons, the New York Jets, the Brooklyn Bulls, the New York Giants. He'll be on here in about 5 to 7 minutes. Just want to run over what we did, what happened this week. Couple playoffs. There's a lot of teams on the bubble. There's a lot of teams with could win the division, could lose the division. Now we're in week 16. We just advanced about a couple. I think it was this morning, maybe late last night. So we just advanced. There's about 5 games played. So I mean, it's going to be a fun last couple weeks. Um, we got a lot of teams who are in the playoffs, could be out of the playoffs, especially in the NFC. We have a lot of teams. We're going to have at least one team with a winning record that not make the playoffs, and then it's going to be all hell's going to break loose. But let's dive right into Week 16. The recaps real quick. The Ravens are staying alive. They really have a slim chance to get into the playoffs because looking at the 7th seed, I believe he's 8 or 9 and 6, maybe. So he needs a lot of help. But the Ravens beat the Titans 23-21 in a close game. The Ravens are now 7 and 8. Titans are 3 and 12. The Bears beat the Sneehawks or the Snowhawks. Excuse me. Did not write down a score. I think it was 25-24. Bears now 11 and 4, and the Snowhawks are now 6 and 9. And this loss probably bumps them out of the playoff chances. He was on the bubble to begin with, but this loss just kind of, I think, took him out. The red hot 49ers devour just kidding, he didn't devour them. Beat the Saints 42-32. The Niners are now 10 and 5. I think at one point he was 4 and 5. I think he's ripped off. We've seen this before from Joe. I mean, he's ripped off and now I think 6 straight games, maybe 5 or 6 straight games, and I mean he's looking to make a push now. He could be one of them teams, depending on what happens the rest of the day here today. He could still be on the outside looking in because the number 7 seed right now is the L.A. Rams, and I believe he's at 9 and 5. If he wins, he stays where he's at. Uh, and Joey will still be, on the bubble. The Seahawks beat the Falcons. Did not write down a score. I think it was 28-7. Confirms that the Seahawks are probably going to have the first round bye. They're now 14 and 1. The closest behind them is the the Lions, but I think the Seahawks has the tiebreaker over the Lions. The Falcons are now 9 and 6. They still hold that division, but it's getting pretty close. I know Coach Forrest, he won like 6 in a row, and then he's kind of been struggling the last couple games here. But we'll find out more about him with that when he comes on. Um, the Panthers improved their outside chance at the playoffs. They're now 7 and 8. Mexico City's about 5 and 10. All right, so everything in the playoff picture is the same from yesterday. You got the Bengals or the Browns at 1, Steelers or the Jags 2, Bills 3, Chiefs 4, Raiders 5, Chargers 6, Steelers 7. That's how it is, the same as yesterday. Same thing with the NFC. You have the Seahawks at 1, the Lions at 2, the Falcons at 3, the Giants at 4, the Cardinals at 5, Bears at 6, and the Rams at 7. Right. So there's only really 2 teams on the bubble in the AFC. Um, I fucking didn't write down the name. I just wrote the record like a jackass. We got hold on, because it's the same as yesterday. The Patriots, right? The Patriots are 8 and 6. Ravens are 7 and 8. Like I said, with the Ravens, probably not gonna make it. I know the Patriots are waiting to play against. I think it's the Bills. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. Because Patriots make a run here. It could potentially. I think if they win out, they can get 12 wins. MJ has 12, so MJ would have to lose every game. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably like if I would have a probability of that, it's probably like an 8 to 12% probability that the Patriots will win the division. But needless to say, I mean the kids come in first year in the league or first whatever, and he's winning bowl games. Real quick, up in the kitchen, you'll hear feet scurrying, trying to get them to go in the living room, but they're just fucking pricks. Um, and the NFC bubble, we got the Niners at 10-5. The Bucks, the football team, are both 7-7, and then you have the Panthers at 7-8, right? So I know the Bucks and the football team are still waiting to play their games. Joey played his game; he's 10-5. So we'll see. I mean, because there's a couple of divisions to watch. We touched on the AFC East, right? A really interesting division is the AFC West, right? You have the Chiefs, Raiders, and the Chiefs and Raiders are both at 10-4, and the Chargers are right behind them at 9-5. So, you know, we'll see. A couple games go the Chargers' way. He might sneak in there. He might lose. I mean, a lot of things can go uh, people's ways here because it's we got 3 weeks left, and I mean anything can happen really. Um, you got the NFC North, right? You got the Lions at 12-2, and you got the Bears at 11-4. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think the Lions played, so the Bears record at 11-4 is him. Um, he's up one game now until the Lions play. Whether the Lions win or lose, he still has hold on that division. If he loses, it'll get a little more interesting. Not sure who he plays. NFC South, NFC South, right? You have the Falcons at 9-6, the Bucks at 7-7, and then you got the Panthers at 7-8. So, I mean, Coach Forrest's 4 game lead a couple weeks ago is now shrunken. Depending on what the Bucks do tonight, we'll see. I mean, it's going to come down to the last couple weeks here. So, and also the NFC East, right? You have the Giants at 8-6, and you have the football team at 7-7. Now, I know the Giants. I think the Giants have one of the top 8 today. Is playing the top 8. Levi has the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. So, I mean, honestly, he should beat the Cowboys, right? Probably beat me. Well, 100% going to beat me because I'm tanking. So that puts him at 9-7 going into that final week. Coach Matt Dale is 8-6. Um, so we'll see. He needs a split to go in that last week at 9, at least 9-7. It's going to be a fun one, boys. It is going to be a fun one, especially in the NFC. There's a bunch of close, people could make it, could not make it. I mean, we don't know what the fuck's going to go on because there's so many question marks. I mean, the Rams are the 7th seed, right? He could lose. Joey could end up being, I don't know, a 12-6 maybe. That's 18, right? 12-5, whatever it is, and he could miss the playoffs. So, we'll see. It's going to be a fun ride, boys. Lock in. Lock the fuck in. Make sure if you're on the outside looking in, you win your fucking games. Make sure if you're in, you win your fucking games. Let's go, boys. This is what the MML's all the fuck about. You know? Comes down to these last 3 weeks. Who wants it more? Who wants it more? Leading up to the our guest for today, Coach Matt Forrest, right? Matt's been part of the league for a while. He was not. I can't recall if he played in the first season, but I know he's a great part of the league. He's always chiming in. He's always talking. I'm hitting him up right now to tell him to come join. And I mean, he's put together. He took over my team in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons. I did a trash job at drafting. I drafted all O linemen and traded away a shit ton of people. But he's done a fantastic fucking job at bringing them back. I think he's already got a playoff victory under his belt. He's looking to win the division this year. He's got about a game or two lead over it. So we'll see. I mean, that division is really competitive. There's a lot of chirping going on. The Saints aren't playing this year. Marcellus came back to Bucks, and now he's on a fucking tear. Um, you always got Jaffe, always chirping at something. Big Roy this, Big Roy that. You got Forrest now with King Henry or King. I don't know what the fuck his name is. And look at this. Look at us joining right now. He's loading in, Coach Matt Forrest. How we doing, Matt?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I can't complain.
Good.
I was just telling the people real quick about how, what is your quarterback's name? I can't think of it. It's King something, right?
Kerry King.
Kerry King. Um, I was just telling the people how competitive and how much shit you guys like to talk down there in the NFC South.
Yeah, a lot of shit talking, man.
It's
Lot of shit talking.
it's a really good division because I feel like all even with Screech out, and we'll dive a little more
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that later, but you guys got a really competitive can't fucking talk competitive division right
you're good.
now, and it's
Yeah.
it's great for the MML. But let me get into this. How did you how'd you first come about like being in the MML? I know you're friends with Joey, Brian,
Yeah.
all them, and I remember you saying in the group me that you hadn't played your fucking Xbox in like 6 years, and then they hit you up, and
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
It's actually funny. I can't remember where it actually started, like where we were, but I remember I was having a conversation with Coop.
Okay.
And Coop's talking about how he's in this Madden league, with BML, Taddy, Joey. He's like, yeah, it's all the guys from like high school, middle school, whatever. I'm like, all right, like, I used to be a big time gamer, like in middle school and shit. Like I used to play Halo all the time. I would buy the new 2K game every year, play online, and do all that kind of
Right.
stuff. So he's telling me about it, and he's like, yeah, but like Forrest, like I don't really know if you want to commit to every day. He's like, we're playing every day. And I was like, fuck, like, I don't
That's a
know if
lot.
I want to either. I was like, but shit, like, I haven't really played Xbox too much. Like, let me just try it and, see how it goes.
Yeah.
So I joined as, I think, the Jets, and
Right.
then I was in the group me as well. And then, like, once I was in the group me, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm in now.
You couldn't stop because it's
Yeah.
just I mean that I feel like I said it a little bit yesterday. That group me just like I don't know, for me it like lifts my day up sometimes.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
It's hysterical.
It
It
was
cracks me
actually
up.
you yesterday what I was talking about. It was actually you when everyone was talking about the players commish, and you were like,
Yeah.
you said fucking Rob. You threw Rob's name out there,
Yeah.
right? And I just started dying because he'd be like the worst players
Oh,
commish.
the
No offense to
worst.
Rob, but he's always like trying double, triple advance and shit.
He's just
And
too much of a wild card, man.
yeah, oh yeah.
Coach
But
Crane.
that's the shit I'm talking about. Like that was funny. And so with you were in the Jets, right? And you're one of those guys. You came into the league like you hadn't played Madden at
Yeah.
all,
Oh,
probably
man.
in the last I don't know couple years or whatever. And you weren't very good, but like
Horrible.
to see how much better you've gotten over the I don't know the course of the last couple I guess it would be couple of years now,
Yeah.
and I even like you. I have to thank you because you would like hit me up and be like, yo, you shouldn't probably trade this guy and that guy, and you're just like
Yeah.
kind of like being like a I don't even know what the fuck call it, but like a guidance counselor almost. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
so you've helped me out there too. And even with like when you're a very classy guy, right? Like in my opinion,
Thank
playing
you.
Madden, right?
Appreciate that.
Like you don't run the score up if you don't
Nah,
have to, right? Like I
nah.
know like we were playing like a couple seasons back and you were
Yep.
just I mean, you were kicking my ass and
I
like
remember the
literally
game.
I could not stop you, and you could have you could have probably aired it the fuck out, had 7, 8 touchdowns,
Right.
but you didn't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yep.
like for me, I just think that's like because not a lot of people do that. Like you
Right.
play a lot of these guys, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, I'm scored 100." You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
Yep.
I to me, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
And I think
Um,
it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like when I first joined the league, like in Madden 20, like the last Madden, and I'm not bullshitting you. I think the last Madden I played was like '04 when Vic was on the cover, and you could literally run like 25 yards back in a sprint
Right.
and press whatever fucking button, X, Y, whatever, and he's throwing a dot, like
Yeah,
a
on the
perfect dot.
line, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
dude. I when I first joined, Jaffe was my first game, of course, and he and I
right,
have been friends since we were like 10 years old. So he was my first game, and he beat me by 60,
right,
like 60 to nothing. And I was like, all right, like this is kind of fucked up. Like I got to get better. Like I can't just like if we're doing this and I'm playing this shit every day, like I got to find a way to get better.
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just that
Yeah,
simple. I can't do something every day and just take a ton of
just
L's. Like I
right.
refuse to do that. I got to do something.
Yo, because when you take them losses, like that shit hurts.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
that
Yeah.
shit, like I know for me, it's like I think about it. I'm like after the game, I'm like, damn, I wish I ran it there. I wish I fucking, you know what I
Yep.
mean? I could have stopped this. Like
Yep.
it. Like I think about it. My girlfriend will be like, I'll go upstairs, like, because I usually play my games like, well, I was playing them like late at night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then like this is before I decided like I was going to tank, and I just kept losing. And I went upstairs. I think it was for like 3 nights in a row. I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. I'm never playing Madden again. And she's like looking at me like, shut up, dude. You like love that league. Like, there's no way you're not playing.
I know.
And
It's
then
so
and
frustrating.
she'd come home from work and there I am fucking playing again. You know
Again.
what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah. It
It's
sucks.
so. What teams were you? You were the Jets, right?
Yep. I was the Jets and then Miami. And the Miami team that I had, that's probably the best like run in terms of like playoff wins and like getting to
Right,
the playoffs, etc. That's definitely the best team I had. And then I was New York slash like Brooklyn Bulls,
right.
and then now the Falcons.
So
Your old
question.
squad.
Yeah, the old squad. Yeah, you've done a lot of work, which we'll get into that team. But like, you weren't a part of. What was your decision on not being a part of like the original draft? Because I'm sure you had the opportunity to, when the new
Yeah,
Madden came out, to be in it, but you were just
yeah.
like, nah, fuck it.
So yeah, honestly, pretty much. So over the summer, I kind of like turn it. I turn it off. Like even like when, depending how long this league goes, if we last till like May, like that's
Right,
when I'm like done. I'm not playing my Xbox really over the summer. Like
right.
it's summertime. Like I
Yeah,
just want to do other shit.
yeah.
Um, so like at that point hit, it was the summer, and I had been planning my wedding like all summer.
Okay.
Um, so it was like leading up to that. I was doing a bunch of shit. With my wife now, and I was like, yeah, I just don't really want to like. I don't think I want to commit.
Right.
And it ended up being that the weekend of the draft, I think, was either like the week before or like right around like wedding time. And I was like, honestly, like,
You're
I'm
not gonna
just
be
not,
able to do it.
yeah, like I just don't want to commit. And I was like, if I'm not gonna pick my team, then I'm just not gonna play, which was dumb, thinking back because I didn't pick my team in Madden 21 either.
Right.
Somebody else drafted it for me.
Right.
So I was like thinking back, I was thinking about today, like just like rehashing like MML, and I was like, I don't know why I just didn't do it from the start. Like I knew I would somehow end up back playing anyway, so like I
Right.
was
Because
like, whatever.
then you were like you took over for Taddy for a
Yeah,
little while,
yeah,
for I guess a
Taddy, yeah,
couple games,
he was
and
out of
then
town or some shit.
yeah, and then it just worked out because I was going to Florida and I was like, I knew you were just sitting there and I hit you up
Yeah,
and I was like, you want to like, yeah, take over for a little bit
yeah,
while I'm in Florida? You're like, yeah, sure. Then I was thinking, I was like, this is my thinking. I'm like, well, the Eagles hasn't fucking responded to anybody, and I'm like
KD,
good friends with him. So like,
yep,
I hit him up. I said, yo, brother, are you playing like at all? He's like, listen,
yeah,
he just had another kid. He's like, I don't got time, blah
it's a
blah
lot,
blah. And I was like, well, all right. If you leave after this year, let me know. Because originally I was going to say you could join the Eagles, but then I
right?
was like, nah, fuck that. Philly Eagles, that's me. I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
do that. You know what I mean? So
right.
that's when I was like, ah, fuck it, just take over the Falcons. And then I did a shitty job. See, like I was talking to Taddy about it, and like my game plan is totally different from like your game plan
Sure,
because
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah,
like to
definitely.
run the football, throw little
Yep,
passes. You're more of a let me get the fastest guy on the fucking field. Let me air it the fuck out. Let me, get a
yeah,
good, yeah. And so when I originally drafted that team, I think I took four straight superstar O linemen, not
yeah.
realizing
You
that
did,
they really don't mean dick in this game,
right?
you know. And let me tell you this. I think you did a fit because I left you with no defense. I just left you with total shit. I said, here, here you go. Good luck,
Figure it
brother.
out.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the first year, correct me if I'm wrong, but that first year, I think you kind of tanked. I mean, you were still
Yeah,
trying to win, but you were like looking for draft picks, and
I
I know
blew it
me,
up pretty much.
yeah, me and you traded a couple picks or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you basically got, I don't know, you got Baker Mayfield. I don't know. That's
Yep.
also what I like. Me and you get deals done, which and
Oh, always.
they're always fair deals too, which I
Always.
appreciate because you know
Yep.
you try to trade with some people and it's like
It's tough.
you're getting fucking hammered and you're
Yeah,
like, I don't know if I should
for
do
sure.
this. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
take me through that. Once you acquired the Falcons, what was your, you know, after looking over the roster, like what was your game plan?
Yeah. So to honestly to start, I don't even know. I probably still would have said yes, but if you had told me to take over the Eagles team
Right.
in that division, I don't know that I would be in the MML. Like part of the like Jaffe and I's back and forth is
Right.
like what makes it like fun for me. And now
Right.
it's like with everybody in the group me. But like
Yeah.
right when I knew Jaffe was in the division, I was like, all right, like bet, like I'm in. Like
Right.
we'll talk shit as long as I play. Like I'm down to have some fun. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Um, so then once I actually started and got the team, um, I saw that you had all the linemen, and I was like, shit. Well, like I got to move some guys with the exception of Quentin Nelson, obviously, because he was like 24 at the time.
Yeah, he's
But
just
I was
yeah.
like, let me just try and, see what I can move. Um, I basically moved all my best players who weren't over, like if they were 27 and over, like I was moving them. It didn't
Okay.
matter how good
So
they were.
you're just trying to get younger.
Yeah, I was like, I need to build the team the way that I like know how to like play because this team right now is built to like run. You had like two really good running backs. You
Yeah.
had Devin and you had Naeem Hines.
Right.
And I was like, I don't like I just guys.
Right.
Like and I would have moved Mason if it was the right price at the time
Right.
because I felt like more picks at the time was going to give me like a chance to get other speed guys that I could start, whether it was wide receiver or like in the secondary or just even like a fast like backer or anything.
Right.
So it's everything I do is pretty much I try to base it around speed, honestly.
And I think that's where the game has gone.
Yeah.
I think Taddy was saying it. There's no use for like a guy like Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Great guy. He's a great football player in real life,
Yeah.
right? But he's like got an 88 speed and
Right.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, there's like he can't do anything else. You rather have like a normal 71 who's like a 97 speed than
Yeah.
an X Factor 8 like Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
Yeah. I
Uh,
know it is. It kind of like I guess it kind of can go both ways. I think in the playoffs it changes. It's kind of like, like the real like NFL, like, the way the playoff games are, played is different than the regular season.
Oh
Or maybe
yeah,
it's a better comparison for like the NBA. Like the
right.
NBA regular season a joke, and in
This is
playoffs people
trash.
are really locking down.
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
kind of, I feel like it's kind of the same way. So like having like a Michael Thomas or something might be good for the playoffs, but like regular season, he's just not doing enough for you. And that speed, you have a chance if you can to dev them up. Then you're in a much better spot with an X Factor who's a 97 speed than a 30-year-old guy who's an 88 speed. It's
Right.
just it's not even a comparison.
Yeah, it's not even close, and it's like
Yeah.
I mean, especially in that NFC South you guys got because I was just looking over it before you hopped on, and
Yeah.
I mean, you got you, right? Then you got
Yep.
Jaffe. You
Yep.
got Marcellus, right?
Yep.
And then you got
Yep.
Screech, which
Yep.
Screech is taking a little bit of a hiatus. But
Right.
that, in my opinion, is a bunch of guys who pretty much are all at the same level in the Madden.
Agreed.
You know what
Yep.
I mean? And you
Yep.
guys always play. I mean, one, you and Jaffe are always streaming, which is great. So I've always
Yeah.
like watched all your streams,
Yeah. Love it.
and you guys are all like equal. How is it playing them guys? I mean, because you know Marcellus, like you
He's
know,
right there.
that's what
He's
I'm
right
saying. Like
there.
I was just looking at it, and he
Yeah.
was like a couple days ago, he was like 4-7 or something like that, and he won like
Yep.
now he's like won like four in a row or three in a row,
Yeah. I think
and
he's rattled off like four or
he's
five.
yeah he's 7-7 now, and I mean really because you did like I was looking over your schedule right, so. You had one, two, three, four, five, six,
I had
seven
a
game win streak,
tough.
huh?
I had a tough beginning start to the
You
year, and
did.
then I ran off
You
seven.
went 1-3 because you had the Panthers, Saints, Niners, and Bills,
Yep.
and then you played Big Roy again, and
Yep.
that
Spanked him.
started your 7 game. or you actually won 8 out of your last 9,
Yep.
and then you had 2 tough games against the Cards and Seahawks. But like, I mean, what do you think? You think because they're chomping at your bit. I
I
mean,
know.
you got
Yeah.
the Pats and the Rams remaining on your schedule. I mean, you got to win at least one of them games to be able to.
Yeah. If I win one, I think I'm good.
Yeah,
But dude, our division in general, it's great. Like Marcellus is cool as shit for one, and he's also really solid.
right,
I don't really know Screech or talk to him, but he's also solid. Like all four of us, it's kind of like it's by like a hair that someone edges each other out for like the division. It's
right,
always close, which is great. Like we're all very similar. I think I'm starting to get a little better, and hopefully I can continue it. But like it doesn't matter how good I ever get. Anytime Jaffe and I play, it's
right.
always going to be up in the air. Like
It
he can
does.
beat me at any moment, and I can beat him. It's just like
Right,
how it is
and it
now.
doesn't matter because like,
No.
because I've seen you beat the shit out of him. I've seen him beat the shit out of you. I've
Yep.
seen some
Exactly.
fucking close ass games, and I've
Yep.
seen some, you know, really out there games.
Yeah.
But like, where do you think the Falcons like can go? Like, do you think you can make like a strong like you're on your way to winning the division?
Yep.
Do you think you can win maybe one or two of them games? Because I've seen you like I think you lost to Brian like 45-39. Now I know he said in
Yeah.
his streams, which I kind of believe, kind of don't. Like when he plays like people not in the top 8, right?
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of like other shit, trying to dev guys up, which I kind of get. But
Yeah.
like come playoff time, I mean you lost 45-39. I mean, in my opinion, that's a good game. You
It
know.
was a good game.
So like, what my question is like moving like into like postseason, right?
Yeah.
What do you think that like where like do you think the Falcons can be there?
I think I mean, I definitely should win the division. If I lose these next two, I'll be embarrassed straight up. I mean, I gotta win one. I mean, Pats has been solid. I'm not
Yeah,
taking them lightly, but I have to beat him or Jawan, one of the two, or win both. Hopefully,
right.
that's what I do. Um, but I mean, I would be embarrassed if I lost them both. That just it can't happen.
Now,
Um,
do you know the Pats at all?
no, but he's a friend of the Bears of Mashio, and
Okay,
I've known Mashio since I was like 8.
okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but I was trying to get him on. I think today, but you filled his spot. Um, but
But
I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. Like when I played Coop today, it was like 7-7 going into the fourth.
dude, that was a great game. I watched that. I
Yeah,
was yeah, I was driving on the turnpike, and I have like
that
in my
doesn't sound safe,
no,
man.
well, in my work truck, I have a like a phone holder
Like a
on
little
like
holder
the
for it.
window. So I
Yeah,
had like I had my work phone like GPS, and then I had my my cell phone like on your game. And like I was like in and out watching it, and I mean I looked up and it was like the third quarter, and I think it was 7-0 or 0-0. Like it was a
yeah,
good game, and then I cut it off because I got to the job, and I looked back and I was like, damn, 28-7. So I was like, I figured you probably threw like a bunch of interceptions or
yeah.
something.
Like at the end, I think I threw 2 picks and he ended up scoring, to
Okay.
go from 14. But I mean, it was a close game. But like to answer your original question, like I think this is gonna sound crazy, but like I do think that I can win a few games. I don't know. I think I can beat Coop in the playoffs. I think I can beat Jawan. We'll see in week 18 if I can actually beat him or not. But like I don't know if I'm there to beat B Mill. I think a
Right.
big difference, like in my game with Coop today, was like the abilities. Like
Right.
if you don't have the abilities dictate games, like by
Hmm.
far. That's just what it is. And I don't have like my defense is like an 80. I'm looking at it right now. It's an 80 overall. Like that's
Right.
just not. It's not good enough.
Yeah. It's
You
yeah.
know. So that makes it tough. But I don't know, man. I'm a weird player. Like sometimes I'm really good, and other times like I'm the worst player in the league. Like it just depends on like what
It's any
what
given day, to be honest with
dude.
you,
I know
because
it's tough.
some days like I do. Some days I can. Sorry, I just got to turn the fucking light on. I didn't
No,
realize
you're good.
it's getting dark so fucking quick. But some days it's like you can do anything out there, and then other days it's like, dude, I can't
I
even
know
run for 3 yards. It's like I hate Madden sometimes, and like, yo, I don't know if you
it's tough.
do this, but like. I'll be playing a game and I'll go up, I don't know, like 21-0, and it'll be like halftime. And then all of a sudden, everything I was doing just not working anymore. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, here
Yep.
come the Madden gods. They're gonna fuck me again, you
It
know.
happens.
Or it's like someone's just like running the ball up, running up, like running it up on me, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess it's just not my day. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it just happens. I don't know what it is.
It's just
It's
like
weird.
it's the algorithm in Madden. It's like
Yeah, that's
it like
exactly what it
it
is.
like fucking knows, you know.
It does. Yeah.
And it's funny though because like yeah, I get what you're saying about the defense, but like I've seen you go toe to toe with like Joey and be like beating Joey. And granted, like
Yeah.
this year, this is the game I'm talking about was this year, and he had his rookie quarterback or whatever. And
Yeah.
but still, I mean, I still think you could beat some of them guys. I mean, and just to me, like gives a guy like me hope, which I thought I was
Yeah.
like decent, right? And then like I kind of haven't been playing my game,
Right.
but like a guy like you came in and you awful, you know, and
Oh,
you've
horrible.
worked your way, and like
Horrible.
we were talking about it like I'm probably like a week or two ago, and I was asking you like questions, and you were just
Yeah.
like, ah, I just watched other people's streams, and ever since you said
100%.
that, I've been watching like like anyone who really puts a stream up, I'm always tuning in, and
Yeah.
just like taking little shits from them, you
Yeah.
know,
You kind of have to. And
right?
like it's funny that I'm going to say this, but like I actually did get inside the lab with B-Mill once. Like we jumped on, played each other, and he kind of walked me through like some defensive shit. Right.
Yeah,
And like I told him, I was like, yo, like I am not gonna play this game an hour every day, Monday through Friday,
and get
and
my
not
ass
like,
kicked.
yeah, like I gotta get better. Like I'm not gonna compete in anything and just, I can't just take L's. Like I
Right.
don't want to get L's. I want to try at least and get better. I don't care what it takes.
And like you know, people could talk shit on that, but like Warren or the Bengals has been hitting me up, and we just haven't
Yeah,
like hit up. And he's like, "Yo, like hop in a party with me, and like I'll just show you some
yeah,
shit." And I'm all about it because like it gets to a point where it's like I don't want to keep like losing. I mean, I
nah,
don't.
you can't.
It's like
You
I
can't.
just like I want the game to be competitive. It's like because you know
Exactly.
some games where you're just getting your ass kicked or whatever, and it's like man, like I just wish I could like stop this or like I wish
Right.
I could just do what you're doing. Like you're right
Exactly.
because you're taking an hour, pretty much an hour out of your day
Dude, those
to
games are an hour.
yeah, I was looking at my stream last night, and I don't know if it's because the Cowboys was like I don't know if he knew there's chew clock. There's a thing called chew clock,
Yeah.
but he was like literally running like chew clock without chewing clock, and he would like run it all the way down, and I'm like, dude, this is taking forever, and
Yeah. It's brutal
it was
sometimes.
55 minutes though, and I was like, wow,
Fuck.
an hour a
An
day, and
hour.
that's not like including like when I like you know just poke around and I'm looking at
Right.
like shit for like 20 minutes, you know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
whatever, like because I mean, I don't know. I just can't I want to be competitive. Like I don't think I'll ever win a
Got to.
Super Bowl, and that's fine. I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
I don't
Like
know
but
if
like
I ever will either, but
but division titles, like give me them. I want them. You know what I
right.
mean? One or
Yeah.
two
100%.
playoff wins, like let's go.
It's
Like
worth it.
yeah, exactly. And that's what we're like that's what I'm fighting for, you know, cuz I think I have a great division with Dale and
Yeah. It's great.
Levi, and I'm not even sure the Cowboys who he is. But do you know
Stoy.
him?
Yeah. Stoy.
Yeah. Is he? I mean, obviously he's not a big Manning guy, but
Nah. I think he just kind of. I think he's probably in the same position that I was in Madden 20. Like
right,
he probably hasn't played Madden for years, if ever. Like I have no
right.
idea if Stoy ever played Madden or not. So
And I think
tough.
we're all. I mean, all of us are in that. Some of us are in that position now. So I think we're
Right.
all like have been in that position before because like
Right.
you know you can't you don't just pick up a game and like all of a sudden you're great. You gotta like
Right.
what's his name? The Bengals are a little annoying at times where get in the lab, but like I mean he is kind of right. Like
He's 100% right.
if you want to be good at something, like
You got
like
to.
when you played basketball, right? Like
Yeah.
you didn't just go to practice. Like you
Nah.
practice
Hell no.
outside of practice because you wanted to
Right.
get better. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like you have to practice that shit to be good, and like an hour a day sometimes, you know, in Madden's probably not gonna cut it. You know,
Yeah.
playing good teams.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, honestly, like when I like got on with B-Mill, like it was literally 15 minutes. It was like 15 minutes. We got on at like 12 and I like was jumping back on like a work call at like 12:15.
Right.
Like that's all it took. And now like I've just practiced that shit now. Like if I play online like randomly or just like in my games now and just like
Right.
see what works. But like if you don't do that, like I don't know. In my opinion, I just think it's good for the league. Like
Mm-hmm.
whatever like B-Mill taught me, I'll be willing to teach anybody. Because
Right.
if everyone's getting better, then that just makes the league that much better.
Right. And it's like, it's funny, it's 15 minutes, right? And he probably showed you like three things or four, whatever it was, like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
few
yeah.
things. But like those few things, like make the
Oh my
biggest
god,
difference in the world.
dude, the defensive adjustments has absolutely 100% changed
The
everything.
whole when he told me about the baseline line thing on the
Yep.
on the thing the other day,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, it blew my mind because like I was like, oh shit, that makes total sense, And I
Changes
used it,
everything.
and I was like, wow, they really come out in like the same fucking base
Yeah,
defense,
right.
like when they're not like, you know what I mean? Like I was like,
Yep.
wow, that's like that little shit, right? That I don't ever pay attention to is
Exactly. I
like the
didn't know either.
biggest. I had no idea about it, right? And like that
Yep.
makes the biggest difference in the world, you
Yeah,
know.
it changes. It really changes everything.
So this is your what, third season, right? In
Uh,
I mean like third season
for
in this year.
22, yeah, yeah, third or fourth. I can't remember
Did you
honestly.
win the division the last time you were in the playoffs, or did you make a wild? Were you the wild card?
Nah, I won the division.
So out of your 3 years, you've won the division twice.
Yeah, I
Well,
want to say it's
well,
four.
let's not jinx yourself right now, but
True, but
um,
this is the fourth year now that I think about it. Because year one, I wasn't in it, right? Because I was like tanking basically when I just took the team over,
right.
and then I think year two, I actually won the division.
I think we're actually in season 5.
Ah, fuck, I have no idea then. I
Because I,
know
I
that.
know I did one season, right?
Yeah,
And then the second season I gave to you, but I gave to you like I think it was like halfway or a little over halfway through, right?
yeah,
And then
and then
that
I just
following year you tanked technically or whatever.
right.
Oh, what I wanted, how'd you get the fucking number one pick last year? Who did you trade? And
Oh
and
wow.
so it's a two-part question here. So
Yeah,
how'd
yeah,
you get
yeah.
that number one pick? And then how did you get your bull at quarterback?
Yeah, it's actually crazy. So the number one pick, I started with, I want to say, because last year Jaffe and Screech were both 12-5,
Right,
and at a certain point, I lost like a crucial game, like midway through the season. It put me at like, I want to say like I was like 7-7,
right,
and they were already out in front. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm gonna lose out, get a better draft pick, and then see if I can just like finagle some things and like move up or just like I'll play it out and see what happens.
right.
So I ended up getting like I think it was like the eighth pick or ninth or whatever the hell it was. Um, I offered that pick and a superstar wide receiver in Deontay Harris. He was like 26 at the time. He was like an 86 or 87 overall
I gave you him.
for yeah for oh yeah you did right
Hmm.
for the Pats, just the Pats first pick,
Oh wow.
right? So like I went from like 10 to like 3 or fuck, I can't remember. Dude, I made so many trades that
All
day.
right, yeah.
I think I actually moved up to 6 before. So I moved up from like 10 to 6, offered that same exact trade, like 6 and Deontay Harris for the third. Like
Hmm.
I was legit giving away guys.
Right,
Because I knew like once I saw that speed receiver, I was like, I need him. Like I'll do whatever. I
right.
really don't care.
Because I think that
So
whole season you're like, yo, who's got a speed receiver on the
I
block? Like
yeah, I needed
I
one.
need one. Yeah.
So I moved like the pick, the sixth and Deontay Harris for the third from the Pats. Like it was an easy deal to say yes to. Like
Hmm.
I'm giving him a superstar wide receiver
Right.
essentially for nothing.
Yeah.
And then I gave the Bears a
Yeah, because he had the number one pick, right?
yeah, I gave him like a 89 or 88 speed linebacker who was a normal at the time, decent overall. He was like 83 overall. He needed a linebacker to move up to the first and him to just move to the third and get that guy. And we were already talking at the time, and I kind of like told him, I was like, you're going to be able to get your guy regardless.
Right.
Because I kind of knew who Seth was taking. I was talking to Seth, so I was just like, gave the Bears the confirmation. I was like, yeah, dude, like you're going to get your guy regardless. Like you can take this deal, and I'm just going to take the receiver.
Right.
And he was like, all right, yeah, like if I can get the same guy and add a linebacker, why wouldn't I do it?
Now, real quick before you get into the quarterback deal, do you
Yeah.
think if you didn't trade to get that number one pick, and you had the third pick, do you think Seth would have took that receiver?
100%.
Yeah. What's his speed?
97.
What's his excel?
94?
Damn, that bull be flying.
Yo, he flies.
Is
He
he a
scored my
normal?
only touchdown. Yeah, he's normal as shit, which kind of sucks, but like it's still worth it.
Oh yeah, hundred
He's
percent.
close to Devin. I'm about to look up what his Excel is. I have it. Yeah, 94 Excel. Yeah, he
Yeah,
fucking
because I guess you,
flies.
yeah, I guess you kind of had to make that deal with Seth being at two because,
Right.
like you knew he don't care how many speed receivers he has.
Nah.
He's always loading up
And
on
I just
them.
like I can't trust Seth to just take like the running back. Not that he was telling me he was gonna do like something different. I was like,
Right,
dude, like I just gotta guarantee that I'm gonna get him. You know what
right,
I mean?
exactly.
Like if I
And
wait for Seth to pick, like who knows what the fuck he's gonna do?
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, that was a good call by you because I remember hopping on and I was like, how the fuck did you get the number one
I,
pick? And then,
I think I made 3 trades on draft day, and like I love draft day. Like I
ah,
don't
yeah,
care if I'm like in the high 20s, like whatever, make playoffs. I got a 20th pick. Like I want to be active. Like
right.
it's a great day. It's
It's just
always so
cool to
much fun.
see like all these guys like the computer animated guys
I
come
love it.
out and who's hidden and who's not and
Yeah, it's the best. It's a
you
great part
know
of the game.
it was funny back like when we first started. I think it was the first draft ever. Like, well, we did the fantasy draft for the original teams, and then I think Mark and Brian were going back and forth about trying to. You know how in like Madden you can like input the actual dudes coming out from college.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So they wanted Mark. I think Mark wanted to do that, and Brian was like, "Nah." And I think that was like the greatest thing Brian like turned down
Yeah,
because like I think that's the best part. Like
yeah. I love it.
I rather draft like a whoever than somebody actually coming. You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah,
it's
I
cool
agree.
shit.
Yeah, I love it too. Some guys don't really like love
Draft.
yeah, or like the CPU generated guys like
Right.
but I think it'd be great like if we continue to like roll at the pace we're on and like we get to I mean we're still a little ways out but like get to a point where it's like fully like CPU guys like we were close in Madden 21.
Oh yeah.
Like
It
we were
was
getting really close and like
right.
I think that's cool like you're still playing the same game
Yeah. Nah. 100%. And then how did you get your guy?
to get
Because
carry.
but just real I don't know if you I offered Rob I had
A
four first
handful.
rounders
Yeah,
and
I
I
remember.
no one apparently no one wants four first rounders but because I offered
So
him four first rounders and I offered Nate four first rounders for Barrow and
yeah, I'm actually really happy that you asked because so first of all the deal was a 22-year-old X Factor right end. He was like a 77 overall at the time when I traded him to Robert. So he was an X Factor. He was 22 years old. Um, he came out of the draft as an X Factor,
oh wow
and I didn't even draft him. I logged off. One day I came back on, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I got another hidden guy. I texted Joey. I was like, "Yo, you mind like looking like at what this guy is?" And Joey, I was like, all right, he's probably like a star. And Joey was like, nah, like guess again. And I was like, all right, he's a superstar. And Joey was like, guess again. And I was like,
wow
oh shit, like that's lucky as fuck. So anyway, um, I traded him and 2 first round picks to get carry. And I don't know if Robert can attest to this or not, but like, dude, the amount of times that I hit Robert up to do the deal is why like the deal got done. Like it
really
started to get to a point where like I was like, yo, like if you don't answer this like this next text, like I gotta stop texting you. Like I can't keep hitting you up about like Madden. It's getting kind of weird.
right right right
Like, I wasn't like actually texting him that much, but like I was being persistent about it because I was
yeah
like, yo, like if I can get an X Factor quarterback, then I don't have to like fucking like do it what Jaffe's doing. Like Jaffe can win more games than he won this year, but like
he
all he
wants to
cares
have
about
his
right now is
guy
getting
up
the X right. If once he
right
gets the X Factor, it changes his whole game.
and yeah and
So I
now
was like,
your
fuck.
guy is an X Factor.
Yeah, he's an X Factor.
Why does it only have a star under his when he plays? I don't get that.
Really?
Well, when you're playing, it's not an X.
It's
Like
not.
it's a star. I swear to God, is he? Is he? I could be wrong, but I could have swore today I was watching your thing and it
He's
was.
definitely an X Factor. I don't know.
That's what
I
I
probably like.
thought.
I don't know. It might be like it might have to do with like the overall. I don't really know how that works.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't. Yeah, I never thought of that. But Yeah, that's great because I hit up Robert like twice, right? And I was like,
Dude.
listen, this is all I'm offering. I was like, I'll offer three, but if I need to, I'll give you four. And then I didn't hear back from him. And then I was like on a roof working, and he hit me up, and he's like, I'm about to trade Forrest, the guy.
Yeah.
Is this your final offer? And I was like, It was like 20 minutes after he sent it is when I saw it, and then next thing I know, you got him. Is
Yep.
his name Carey? Was his name really Carey King? Or
Nah,
did
his
you
last name
change that?
was yeah, last name was Hankins, I think. Kerry Hankins. I was like,
Yeah, Carey
this is
King's a little bit
trash.
better than
And when
Hankins.
I only changed his last name because when I drafted, so when I had Mahomes in 21, I traded him and moved up to draft a quarterback, and that's when I drafted Gary Gibson.
Ooh,
Right, so it was like GG.
right.
And then when we restarted the league, I had Derek Carr when I was the Brooklyn Bulls, and he
Yeah,
was
you
like,
traded me Derek Carr.
yeah, and he was good, but like I just at the time like I was like so kind of like I guess infatuated is the right word, but like with like just having like a young like quarterback,
Right.
it was fun for me. So I was
Yeah.
like, fuck it, like I can hype this guy up, you know what I mean? Like have some fun with it. So I traded Carr and like drafted Casey Cutler. So then it was
Yeah.
like C.
Then you traded
So
me
when I
Casey Cutler.
right, yeah, that kid had an arm, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. He definitely did.
so when I traded for Kerry, I was like, I might as well keep like this like letter thing like going.
Right.
So then I was just like thought of the name King, and I was like, all right, that's like
Now,
like a
out of
fresh
those
name.
three you just named, who's your favorite? Is it Gary?
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
Was he
he
an
was
X
all.
Factor?
No, he was a super. He was a star, and then I got him to a superstar. But dude,
Okay.
he was awesome. It was just
Yeah.
fun because like when I traded Mahomes, I got like an X Factor linebacker who was like 24, and drafted Gary, and Gary was like 83 speed, had like 94 throw power, like he had all the intangibles. Like he was just
Hmm.
ready to rock and roll. Like
Right.
he could scramble, he threw a good deep ball, and he made playoffs as a rookie.
Yeah.
So you can't beat that. If
And
Kerry
it's
does it, then maybe I'll feel differently.
right, right. And you know it's funny when you just mentioned Casey Cutler, right, and his arm,
Yeah.
right? I had a when I traded you him, I don't even know why I traded you him, but I had my team was so based on running. I had like a my running quarterback, I didn't have
Yep.
any really wide receivers, and I remember I put him in the first the first game, and I went to like throw a deep ball, and he just launched that motherfucker, and I was like not used to it because like my guy I think only had like an 89 arm power or whatever,
Dude,
and he
yeah.
just fucking launched it, and I was like
Kid had
holy
an
shit.
arm.
And I remember I hit you up, and I was like, dude, I don't know why I traded you this guy. He like doesn't fit my offense
I probably should
whatsoever.
have told you beforehand, but at the
Yeah.
time I needed a pick. I was desperate.
Yeah, it's all
I'm
good.
sure.
How are your picks looking this year? Because I know you're always active in the picks
Uh,
market.
I honestly don't know. Like, I
Because you have
haven't.
I traded you to one for Oscar, which I love Oscar. He's
He's
fucking
awesome.
he's great. He's a fucking stud. He wants
Yeah,
like
he's a stud.
60 to 80 million or something like that. But I mean, he's gonna
Whoa.
get it. He's
Yeah,
well
you have
worth
to
it.
pay him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's
a
like
stud.
24 years old, superstar. Like I gotta. He has to
Yeah.
get paid.
I dev Oscar was a star when I drafted him, and then Miles Collins was a star when I drafted him, and I dev him and Collins and traded both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like I just needed to build same way, like same reason that like when I first took over the team, like I love the linemen and they are crucial, but at the time I just needed other like
Right.
skill position players, and I was like, at this time I think it's worth it right now.
And I mean,
So
like, you don't need five of them, right?
right,
You can get like an 82 star who almost does pretty much the same thing as like a 95 superstar. You know
yeah,
what I mean? There's a little bit
yeah,
of a
it's
difference
tough.
there, but
Yeah, there is.
it's like it's serviceable. So like, would you say like this draft coming up is probably you're gonna like more towards the defensive side of the ball because I think you
Oh
have all the
yeah,
pieces on the offense. You got Mason,
yeah,
you got your bull carry, you got
yep,
the receivers. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
Offense is I think is pretty much good. I need a linebacker bad. Like my
yeah,
linebackers are fucking horrible. I have five superstars on the defensive side of the ball, and then everybody else that plays is a normal. Like
yeah,
that's
it's
just it,
tough.
it, it doesn't cut it. My all pretty much all my corners are normals, and then I have one safety who's a superstar. But like it just doesn't. It's not good enough. It doesn't get it
Yeah, and
done.
unfortunately, you have to have a good defense in this league
I
to
know.
be able to compete. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
people just run it the fuck up on you.
I know.
So
But
outside of your team, who do you like to be like maybe make a little bit of a run this year in the playoffs? You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm gonna bring up the. I mean, I think
I got
obvious
it right here.
answer.
So like you got like basically you have this the Seahawks. These
Yep.
are the teams. These are not the top eight. That's like we know like the top guys will probably most likely be there. But like I'm talking about like guys who are like getting into the playoffs, but you want to see them win a playoff game or two. So you got like the Bills, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Patriots possibly, and the Ravens possibly in the AFC. And then in the NFC, you got the Giants, the Bears, the Lions, possibly the nine or well, he's the Bucks, the football team, Panthers, kinda. But I mean, those are kind of the teams that are all right there, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Especially like in the NFC, right? So like, there's a lot of teams that are like on the bubble because they're all fighting for that one spot,
I
and
know.
Jawan currently has it right now.
Yep.
Jawan's at 9-5. He hasn't. I don't know if he's played his game yet, but you
I
have
did. They
Jawan
they
at
they did play. I think
who won.
he won. He won because I just saw Marcellus was had 8 losses. So
Uh,
I think technically speaking, from my standpoint, I'm at like I'm
I think,
good, even if I
yeah, you're
lost out.
probably good. Yeah,
But
that game was huge for you because if he won, then it kind of put a little bit of pressure on you. But now
yeah, for
that
sure.
he lost, because then really it's it's funny because Joey could be like 11, possibly 12, and I think it's 5, and miss the playoffs.
That's crazy, and it
Right,
sucks too because like I get like why they did it that way, but like Joey should be in the playoffs every year. You know what I mean? Like he's good enough. Like
right.
he's a top five guy. Like he deserves to be in the playoffs. But like it's just how the cookie crumbles.
But it's funny because the NFC West has 3 teams in the playoffs, and really, I mean,
Yeah, right.
they
Which
could.
is not.
Yeah, and they if some like say the Bears lose a couple games, right?
Yep.
The Niners could pop in there and they could have 4 teams in the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
so
that would be awesome.
that would be pretty wild. And you know what's crazy on the AFC side? Like I know the Bengals took a year off or whatever, but like the
Right.
AFC West
Which kind of
has
sucks.
yeah he'll be back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
for sure.
the AFC West has 3 teams in right now. You know.
Right.
And you got they're all right. They're all Seth and Ramsey are
Yeah.
10-4, and then you got Ahmad right at 9-5. Like
Yeah, it's tough. I would
it's
like to see any of those teams make a run.
right, and I think it's kind of cool that at like these last 3 weeks, like are
Huge.
so huge for a certain
Yeah.
couple teams. Like because if the Chargers lose 2 games, they're probably out. Um,
Right.
because the Patriots, depending on what happens with you guys, or like I mean, it's going to be a fun couple days here because
Yeah.
it could people could go in, people could lose spots. This is what I love about like the last little bit, the
Yeah, I
playoff
know.
push.
I
You know
know.
what I
It's
mean?
always fun. Yeah.
Um,
I don't know though, man. Like, like, I would love to see Coop make another run. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know he did just beat him, but I don't know if Coop can beat B-Mill in the playoffs. I think
yeah,
it'd be great. I think it would be great if he did. I would love that. Um, I mean, B-Mill's awesome. Like, he's just a great player overall.
right,
I think if anybody does beat him, it's gonna be Coop.
right.
Like I don't know if anybody else on that side on the in the NFC. Like if I play BMO, do I have a chance? I guess we can say yes, but like I'm just not gonna beat him.
And I
That's
also
what it comes
think
down
it's
to.
like I mean they just like know how to play like playoff football to like to be as funny as it is. Like
Yeah, I
you
know.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they're just like we'll fuck around like because Taddy was saying he's like the regular season like we know we're gonna be there and we're
sure.
just trying to get there. I don't care if I'm a 1 seed or a 7 seed.
Yep,
Um, and it's funny that he says that because like it's true because come playoff time those top dogs are gonna be there. But I think
exactly.
it's also cool for the little guy, like, to see one of them go down. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, exactly. That's what'd be great. Like Coop's not technically, I guess, a little guy because
He's in
he's
that
always
division.
yeah, and he's always solid. Now he's
Right.
only has one loss this year, but like still, like even for Coop, I would love for Coop to beat BMO.
Oh,
Be
same.
great.
Yeah,
You
same
know what I
here.
mean? It
Yeah,
just it'd be awesome. I also would love for BMO and Taddy to play in the Super Bowl.
that would.
Just
I
love
mean,
love the rivalry. You know,
oh, it's
like
a great rivalry. We did it. Taddy's got 10. Brian's got 7. I think 6 or 7. And
is that what it is?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah. So like, I mean, Brian's inching
he's
closer,
getting
and
there.
like if he wins one this year, I think he'd be back to back champs, and he'd be at least 7 or 8, and I mean he's right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like hopefully, hopefully we get at least 8 to 10 seasons in. You know, at the rate we're going, shit, we'll probably get 15 fucking in.
So we're what? We're 5 or 6
At
in
least
now.
4 or 5. I can't really remember. I think someone said
I
yesterday
think
it
you're
was
right.
5.
I think you're right.
I thought it was 4, but it could be 5. Who knows? But damn. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I think AFC side. I think I think MJ can win some games. I just think like his scheme. Like even
right.
when he played Tatty tough the other night. I don't know if you
Yeah.
watched any of that.
I watched a little
Um,
bit of it. Yeah.
yeah, I watched some of it too. But he plays the same exact way. But it's hard to stop. And
He's
like
got
the
a
three,
great his whole team is fucking
they're
littered with
loaded. Oh,
superstars and X factors, and
it's
he's got
unbelievable.
like a 94 rating. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy.
he's done a good job. I'm not going to really give him credit, but he's done a pretty good job up there in
Yeah, he
Buffalo.
has. He
But
has.
into my like final question, what is your like what's your favorite part of like the MML?
It's got to be the group me.
Yeah.
I was actually looking today, which is pretty cool. I was looking today, like all the members, like in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
and I like counted. I think it was like 15 or 16 guys that I think I've known for like more than half of my life. Like
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 28 this summer,
Right.
and I've known these guys for like half my life. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? I was like, that's that's pretty special to like be. Especially we got 32 guys, right? So it's an extension of all of us now,
Right.
which is awesome as well. But like 16 guys that I've known for like fucking half my life, I was like, damn, like that's crazy.
Right, and it's funny because like I mean I probably talked to 2 people I went to high school with, just because we both like we went
Yeah,
on
yeah,
different paths or
right.
whatever, and you guys, I always talk to I forget. I was talking to somebody about it, but like you guys have been friends since you've been like 10 years old, right?
Yep.
And like
Yeah.
you all hang out with each other. You're
Yep.
always talking to each other, and I think that's cool as shit. And
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's like that's awesome. Like I'm glad, like especially Brian, because he's like my little cousin. Like, and I'm
Right.
glad that he has like you
Yeah.
guys to like be like it's just it reminds me of my uncle because it's crazy. Like my uncle Mike, I don't know if you ever met him, but like
I
my
think
uncle,
yeah, I have.
my uncle Mike has like a similar thing where he had like in high school he had like I think it was like almost 8 to 10 guys that he's like still
Still
not as
cool.
close with now, but like
Right, right,
when I
right.
was little, like I would see him like all the
All the
fucking
time.
time. You know
Right.
what I mean? And like
Yeah,
now,
that's
like
cool.
it's kind of because he went to Methacton, and like and now
Right.
you guys, you went to Methacton, and like
Yeah.
to see that, I'm like just looking from the outside. I was like, that's some cool shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
it
I'm
is.
happy for that. Like, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool for
cool.
me too because like I kind of knew you guys a little bit, but like now with like
Right.
doing this and then like
Right.
talking to you on the party chats and like hitting
Yeah,
you up
exactly.
on the group me, it's like I get to know you guys a little bit more, and it's
Yeah.
cool. I enjoy that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
That's definitely I mean, that's definitely the best part. Like the
all
group
right,
me
yeah,
is just it's the best.
because you know how it is. Everyone
Can't beat
gets
it.
older, right? You get like you all
Yeah,
have your own
exactly.
lives. You're getting married.
Right.
You got houses. You maybe kids
Yeah.
possibly, whatever. Like
Keeps
and
everybody together. It kind of just keeps everybody
it
together.
does. And like I was gonna say like
It's cool.
it is great, and I love that about the league. And my favorite part though is like shit talking. Like I love the
Oh
shit
yeah.
talking. That's the
Yeah,
best. Like
that's included with the group me.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
an
exactly.
automatic.
It just rolls. It's so funny when you and Jaffe or you and Coop or anybody
Yeah.
really, go about it. I remember we had I don't know if you were in the league, but somebody this is probably back season I don't know, it could have been year 1 or maybe year 2. You might remember, but like somebody added somebody into the league and they were like I don't think they told them like what actually
I think
goes
I know
on.
what you're talking about.
And the dude came in like mid like argument. I think Sant was like going at somebody or something was going on, and he came in literally mid argument. And his first message was like, "Yeah, this is too much for me." And he left
He
right
just dipped.
away, dude. It was so funny. He was
Oh,
literally
that's
in the
fucking
league for
great.
like 3 seconds, and that was it. And I think he's been the quickest guy in the league. Because I
So
was
funny.
telling somebody, I was like, if people are joining, you got to let them know. Like,
You gotta
one,
let them know
there's
what's going
a
on.
lot of shit talking, and
Yeah,
two,
it's
like
constant.
Taddy. I guess it was he played. I don't know if it was the Patriots or the Vikings, and he hung like 95 on the kid. And me, I'm like, dude, this is the kid's first fucking
Oh, it's
MML game. It's
fucking
like,
brutal. Yeah, it was Story. It was Story. The
yeah, it's like,
Cowboys.
welcome to the
Now,
MML. Here's 95 points.
I'm
Like,
like, dude, I would have left right then and there.
oh
Fuck
man, that's
that.
funny. Oh
Yeah, I
shit.
know, dude. It is funny though. Like when I haven't been like active in the group chat, which has been a lot lately. Like I'll just say like yo, like an at like Jaffe,
Right.
and he already knows what's coming. I'm just be like, dude, like fuck you,
Yeah,
like
right, right.
fuck you, Glory. Like
That shit's so
he already
funny.
and he knows it's coming too. He doesn't even answer anymore when I say yeah, because he knows it's coming.
My
Just
girlfriend will be
cracks me
like,
up.
"Who?" My phone, because I used to have it on silent, and I probably should put it back on silent, but I
Yeah,
took it off silent when I started doing this because I wanted to make sure like I caught everything to like add in this,
right,
and
right, right, right,
because I didn't want to miss nothing because I always wanted to
right.
whatever.
Yeah,
And I think the one night it was like it had to have been like I don't know, it was like probably 9:30, 10. And I was laying in bed with her, and my phone's just like, zin, 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 zin. And she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" I was like, "I don't know. I could probably already guess. It's probably somebody in the Madden League fucking
yeah,
going off
always.
right now." And I
Yep.
I come to look, and it was Rob freaking out about. I think it was a computer game or something. Oh, it was funny. Oh my god. She's like,
Oh, it's fucking
"You
great.
love that league so much," and I'm like, "Yeah, well,
It's hard
it's a
not to.
it's a
It's
great
just
league."
it's great. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
fun. Everything about it makes it fun.
Right.
You know?
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you taking a
Yeah,
time
man.
out of
Of
your
course.
day
Thank you.
to come on and bullshit with me, because that's really what it is. We just fucking bullshit for like an
Yeah,
hour.
that's
You
great
know what I
though.
mean?
It's
Talk
awesome.
about your
I've been
team.
enjoying listening to these other guys too. It's been
Yeah,
great.
it's
Thanks for
it's
thanks for doing
actually,
it.
to be honest, it's. I thought it wasn't going to be that uh like big, not like big, but like I didn't think it was going to be that
No,
like
I know what you mean. Like at the
and
interest.
like it's the reception I've gotten, and that's
Yeah,
why
it's
I like
great.
having you guys on because like it gives everybody a chance to like one, see your face, and two,
Right.
to just kind of get to know you a little bit, that who doesn't
Yeah.
know you, right? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
who wouldn't want to talk about their MML team for fucking an hour? You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
fun. We could
It's
go on. We could go on forever.
I know we could go on for another
Honestly.
fucking hour, dude. Like that's what Jaffe and I were on. We were just literally fucking like just bullshitting, and it's like, dude, we could do this for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's
crazy.
it's yeah, we're having a draft party.
Oh yeah.
So what the plan is, right? I haven't told anyone this. So I could have like a bunch of people on at the same time. So what I want to do is like the first round, I'll have like 6, 8 guys in, and you see everybody's reaction for the who picks what.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out,
All
but
right. I'm down.
I'll
Why
hit you
not?
up.
All right.
So
Cool.
it'll be fun. I think we got a mod so far. Joey, possibly Nate. We'll see if Jaffe wants to do it. We'll have a good time.
All right. Cool.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
brother. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
All right, dude. Yeah. Thanks. You too.
All right, see ya.
All right. See ya.
And there you have it, man. Another great fucking interview with an MML legend, Coach Matt Forrest. I don't know about legend yet, but definitely a good player. I just want to say this, fellas. It's been a pleasure so far. Thanks for all the positive feedback. Let's keep it rolling. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see who's in. Let's see who's out, boys. Peace.